I hope all of you football fans had a Merry Christmas. We Packer fans certainly did. Um, oh man, I'm still on cloud nine over the fact that the Packers have a hell of a chance. A hell of a chance. Um, Everything that we needed to happen this past week happened. We needed Seattle to lose. They did, because they're playing Kansas City. It comes to the territory. We needed Washington to lose. They did. Of course, they were playing the Niners. That comes to territory. They're on the road, too. According to the scenario, we needed the Giants to lose. They did. Again, they were playing the Vikings. We needed the Lions to lose. That was difficult. That was difficult because they were playing Carolina, and we don't know which Panthers you're going to get. But we got the good Panthers, so Detroit got taken care of. All we needed to do was win, and it wasn't easy. Um, the first half plays were a bit iffy, and Tua was just passing on us. Then poor Tua landed on his head again, and the Dolphins didn't even bother to check him again. So they set him out. So they set him out there half cocked again. As a result, he had a terrible second half, which was capped off by three interceptions in the fourth quarter alone. The Packers caught up, took the lead, never looked back, and won 26-20. So what we have now is a log jam in the NFC wildcard picture. Washington holds the last spot at 7-7-1, but you got the Packers, you got the Seahawks, and you have the Lions all at 7-8, knocking on the door. It's amazing. We may be in the bottom of that pile, but we're still a half game out, and we are very much in the thick of things. And it's just amazing. We have an actual legit shot to make the playoffs, even though this has been the most catastrophic season in a while. You know who else has a good kind of has a good shot of making the playoffs? The Steelers, and of course the Steelers. Obviously, it was an emotional week for the Steelers and their fans. Of course, they were the week the game, the whole weekend was about honoring the recently late but forever great Italian stallion Franco Harris. Of course, it was the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception, which actually fell a day before the game. December 23rd was the anniversary. They honored him, and they honored that moment, and of course they retired his number 32. Should have been retired years before that, but that's another story. Um, of course, it was Steelers Raiders because it's fitting, and it was kind of a shaky game for the Steelers at first, but they managed to pull it out at the end, and they stayed alive. They stayed alive for another day. It was Miami's loss that kept them alive for another week. So Pittsburgh, they won it. They won it on a night that Franco Harris was honored and immortalized, and they they really they still have a shot. A lot needs to happen, but they still have a shot. Um, the week began with the Jacksonville Jaguars beating the New York Jets, who had to start Zach Wilson, and oh boy, he's gonna be run out of New York. But I want to go back to Miami and how they again botched Tua. The Dolphins are a very stupid organization. It's bad enough they fired Brian Flores for no reason. Now they keep botching. Um, they keep botching Tua's health and well-being to the point where pretty much everybody, including former football players, are saying Tua needs to hang it up. But it's crazy. I mean, how he's in concussion protocol again, and because of their stupidity in sending him out there willy nilly, not at 100%. He's in concussion protocol with 2 weeks left of the regular season, and they haven't locked in anything, and they need to get going and get some wins, because they're in danger of being eliminated. I think they could be. I think. Let me see. NFL. I think they could be eliminated. I know they can clinch a spot this week, but that's another story. Um, I think they can clinch a spot. I want to say they can. No, they can't. They can't. Miami can't be eliminated this week. But however, without Tua, they're in trouble. They play. Who do they play? They play the. Is it the Patriots this week? I think it's the Patriots this week. Yeah, I think they have two. They have division games left. They play the Patriots this week, and they play the Jets next week. That game could be for the last spot. Could be now. Um, and yeah, and they're gonna be without Tua. I know they're gonna be without Tua this week. They could be without him next week, which means the whole regular season. Yeah, they're in trouble. Miami's in trouble, and they got no one to blame but themselves. And like I said, they fired Brian Flores, even though he managed to finish 9-8 after a 1-7 start. If they lose out, they'll be 8-9, which is one game worse than Brian Flores' last year. So it's the ultimate double whammy against them. Speaking of whammies, Tennessee, what the hell is going on with you? It's kind of a bad period for Tennessee sports. The Predators are up and down. The Grizzlies are losing games, and then there's the Titans. They're about to blow this division. Remember when they had that stranglehold over Jacksonville? Yeah, that's gone. Houston beat them. Houston beat them. Now, Jacksonville won to keep in pace, but I figured, well, there's still going to be one game out because Tennessee's playing Houston. But Houston beat them. And it's amazing. Houston is 2.5 wins, but they're all against the division. They're 2-12-1, but they're 2-1-1 against the AFC South. Amazing. So because of that, Jacksonville and Tennessee are now tied for first, and the Jaguars have the tiebreaker. They're the first place team officially. They're the number 4 seed. That's the seed. That's the seed they're gonna get. But they're the number 4 seed, and it also means regardless of what happens this week, the head-to-head matchup on the final week, that's going to decide the division, and there's a high chance that's going to end the season. Literally, it's going to be the Sunday night finale. Yeah. So Tennessee, oh boy, they're going south. You know what's even worse? We're the last team to lose to them, and that was in Lambeau. And with every week that goes by, I'm pretty sure Pack fans are going, we lost to this team. Ugh. But yeah, So speaking of divisions, Buffalo locked up the AFC East. Cincinnati's closing on the AFC North. Philly had a chance to win the NFC East, but they fell short against Dallas. Of course, Jalen Hurts was out, and his status for this week is up in the air. But it was still a good game. I mean, 40-34. That was a hell of a game. Because NFC East games usually are this crazy. So congratulations are in store. Congratulations. The Ravens and Chargers are playoff bound. The Ravens defeated the Falcons as a result of that win and the Jets and Patriots losses. The Ravens are in. They got the playoff spot that they were denied, I think, in the last week. Because we all know how last season ended. They were 8-3, and then they lost 6 straight to get eliminated. And the Chargers got in. They clinched the spot on Monday Night Football where they trounced the Colts, who were eliminated on Thursday. And that's something. The Colts were actually eliminated 4 days before they took the field. But yeah, because when Jacksonville won, that eliminated the Colts from playoff contention 4 days before they took the field. But so the Chargers are going to the playoffs, and that's another team. That's another key team who was denied a playoff spot very late. We all remember how that ended. The final game of that 2021 season, the crazy game where All the Steelers fans were hoping somebody was going to win because if somebody won, they would be in. Only way they would be out is if the game ended tied. It looked like it was going to end that way, but then Staley called that timeout, and then they ran that play, got to field goal range, and they won it on the last. And the Raiders won it in the last second field goal, putting themselves and the Steelers in while the Chargers were eliminated like that. But Staley's Chargers are in. It's their first playoff berth in 4 years, and yeah, so there are two spots left in the AFC. One of them's the AFC South. Speaking of South, Tampa managed to barely scrape by and beat the Cardinals. They control their own destiny as far as the division is concerned. And the big news coming from Denver, Nathaniel Hackett is gone. See you bye. Um, I actually asked a Broncos fan who's also an Avs fan, best Colorado sports moment of 2022. Avs win the cup or Broncos firing Hackett. He said Avs, but it was close. But yeah, so Hackett's finally gone after 15 games, a 4-11 season, and just disaster, disaster, disaster. That 51-14 loss to the Rams team that was also eliminated. That was the last straw. Interesting. So week 16 was just crazy amazing, especially for us Packer fans. We we still have a chance, and it increased a lot more with everything that happened. So that's my recap of week 16. What's in store for us on week 17? I love week 17 because, of course, until last year it was the 5 week of the season. Now it's an 18-week season, and of course, week 17 transcends into the new year. And but the final football game of the calendar year is the Thursday night game between the Titans and the Cowboys. That is Prime Video's season finale because there's no Thursday football next week. The Cowboys face the Titans. The Cowboys are still trying to win that East. So if they lose, Philly gets it, and Dallas will have that prime number 5 position. They're going to face whoever wins that bad NFC South. Titans, well, like I said, nothing. What happens between the Jaguars and Titans this week? It doesn't matter because those two teams, when they face each other next week, the final week, that's going to decide the division. So this is basically like practice. It reminds you, as a wrestling fan, it reminds you of pick your poison. When one wrestler picks their upcoming championship opponent for the evening. But yeah, so the Titans are hosting the Cowboys. Jags go to Houston, so there's a good chance Jacksonville might pick up a game. But like I said, regardless of what happens, whoever wins the head-to-head matchup week 18 is going to win the division. Elsewhere, here's some key Packer-related games. Now, Packers host the Vikings. Before that, the Commanders are at home against the Browns. The Lions are at home against the Bears. Now, the main scenario only involves Washington. It would be nice if the Bears actually beat the Lions. That would be really that'd be really something. But the overall scenario is if we win out and Washington only loses once more, then we're in. Dolphins are at Foxborough to face the Patriots. Of course, Bucks and Panthers this week. If the Buccaneers beat the Panthers, they win the division. Battle of LA, that was the original Sunday night game, but it got flexed out. So that's going to be on the late window. The Sunday night game is Steelers and Ravens, and the Monday night game, the last one of the season on January 2nd, is Bills Bengals. So that's my recap of week 16. If you like this video, click the like button, click subscribe if you want more. My stories about the Steelers and about week 16 will be in the description below. Check them out when you can. I'll be back very soon to announce the clinching scenarios for week 17, and there are quite a few of them. So stay tuned. Oh, and seeing as how we're getting so close to this, I hope everyone watching and every football fan has a good new year. Here's to a wonderful 2023. Stay tuned.